Okay, well, good evening. Good evening, everyone. We'll get it. Good evening to everybody. Thank you for being here. And so, let me share with you what we're going to cover here quickly. Game Master is going to share with us, from a realistic perspective, we're taking a feather out of Bitcoin's hat because Bitcoin paved the way for how cryptocurrency and blockchain works. Everybody understands that, right? If you understand that, you put yes in the chat. But everybody understands that Bitcoin is the predecessor, is the original model for how it works. So if we want to use something that works, and it's probably the most valuable chain that there is today in terms of, price value for any token, which is Bitcoin, then we might as well use the successful model they had. The difference here is that everybody here, part of this community, um, has the ability to knowingly understand at this point, because of what Bitcoin has done, to understand, should the game be set right, should the math be set right, because money is math, should be set right, then all of us here would understand how to capitalize on it because we'll be using a model that already exists, right? So everybody understands that Bitcoin exists, and Bitcoin's main method of distribution was Bitcoin mining, and it still is actually Bitcoin mining, which a lot of people became very, very profitable from, right? And so what we want to do is share with you something that's going to help you to understand very quickly why these miners are uh, going to be beneficial and actually how they work, right? How they're beneficial. And so um, this is something that Game Master is going to share with you. ChatGPT, everybody can go to ChatGPT. So this isn't a secret, but ChatGPT said to us specifically from our mining equation, because it's an equation, our mining equation, if we did this particular amount of people doing the rhythm, which is what we talked about before, the rhythm. If you have X amount of people doing the rhythm and actually X amount of people mining, here's exactly what our coin value will be, right? With a couple different scenarios. Here's what a coin value would be. Here's what a liquidity would be, and here's how that distribution would work, right? And so then what we'll be able to do from there is to go backwards and figure out, okay, how many miners do we want to have on board or online in order to create that desired result? It's just math, like taking the calculator and figuring out if 2x is equal to 10, what is x? Well, then it's 5, right? So we can look at what the result is and step backwards and see how many miners we want to have in order to get that desired result. Does that make sense? You guys, if it makes sense, just put a yes in the chat. Just put yes in the chat if it makes sense. Right. So we can see here's what a coin is worth, right? And here is what it takes to make that happen in the mining process, and then give all of us the ability to take part in that process. That simple, right? That simple. And so once you understand that process, how to take part in that process, understand that you have full control of that process, and because you are the beneficiaries of that process, here's how that works for you in a very financially strong way. In addition, he's going to cover briefly, we want to give you a hypothetical so you could wrap your mind around it as to the few number of miners and spots that are available, because there really are a few spots and miners that are available, especially for the super miners. And people are going to today, even if you want to get a super miner, you want to get a miner, just reserve at least one miner. If you want to get 25 miners or 10 miners, and some people expressed that they wanted to get some things, but whatever challenges they had, but you can go ahead and do that today, and then reserve one or two if you need to for a couple of days if that's what you had to do, right? But from there is just math. Here's a token. Here's what it'd be worth. Here's what the liquidity is on it. Here's how that works, right? So you understand if I mine $1 today in this particular process, whether it's through the rhythm or whether it's through a miner, if I mine $1 today at $100 and the token goes to $1,000, which is all math, then my $1 that I put in today is now worth 10 times the amount. You guys got that? If it's $100 token and it goes to 1,000, $1 is now 10 times the amount. So my $1 now becomes $10, and it's all math. All right. Who understands and who knows that people always say, numbers don't lie, right? Who knows that, right? People say numbers don't lie, you know, put yes in the chat, right? So we know that if you see the numbers and it's all just numbers, you see the numbers, then people will understand exactly what needs to be done. And every single miner that's added, how it benefits the entire ecosystem. Okay. Exactly. Shelly said it, numbers don't lie. Okay. So with that, um, I'm very confident and very excited about what we're doing. This is just a matter of sharing this with people, and people will buy it. There's no necessity to sell what we have, right? People will buy it because they understand it because it's just numbers, right? So with that, Game Master, are you ready to come on?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good early call. Good afternoon, family. Uh,
You
Master, you ready for me?
the show is yours.
Okay, super.
Floor is yours.
So we're talking about mining to start. When we talk about mining, we talk about what we're mining, guys. We always show our chart. You guys, if you're not familiar, I say we show the chart up or down every day. This chart does the work. It will do the work. As you see this chart grow and grow, the chart does the work. So if you send somebody the chart today, a week from now, they're going to be calling you. You're not going to have to call them. And you're gonna see why in a minute. But here's what good to know about the chart. If you look, we have 117 buys and 11 sales, and this number is growing. This number is growing every single day. Every single day, this number is growing. That's the rhythm. So when you look at find another crypto out there that has 10 times all week, we've had 10x, 10 times buys and sales. Every day liquidity is getting thicker. But let me show you something here. All these buys and sales, and as I've been saying to you, if you go out there and get some tokens while you're out there, go out there, get one DPLIQ or two DPLIQ, full DPLIQ right now, put it in your wallet. But if we go here, I'm going to show you one thing real quick. If we go here, this works, and if say you wanted to buy 5 DPLIQ off the market. You think maybe it says $80, so you think if you buy 5 DPLIQ, it'll be $400, but it's going to be $600. Why? Because there's a limited amount of DPLIQ on the market. So every time you try to get one off the market, to get something off the market, it raises the price. Say you wanted to buy 10 DPLIQ. No, instead of 80 times 10, $800, it'd be $2,313. And family, this is the math. This is what Showman's talk about the math. This is the math of what they call an automated market maker. I can tell you exactly what the token is going to be, whatever you do. And you see it right here on QuickSwap. Tell you exactly what the token is going to be. What if you wanted to buy 11, 12, $4,000, 13, $6,800, 14, $12,000, 15, $50,000. You see it? That's not me telling you. That's the automated market making system for QuickSwap, which is basically for all the dexes. If you want to buy 16, oh, you can't. 16 you can't buy. 15 is the most you could buy, and it costs you $15,000. So when people come to realize that they need DPLIQ for their tokens, they need DPLIQ to trade with each other, they need DPLIQ to hold it as an asset, they need DPLIQ to do many other things they're going to do, financial world, and they come here to the market to buy, and just to get 15 is going to cost $50,000. It costs $50,000, which is on average $4,000. That's today. It's what it costs you to get 15 tokens off the market. They're going to be looking to buy tokens. And who are they going to look to buy tokens from? The only people who have a low cost way of getting tokens are the miners. I hope this helps you understand the exclusive position you have. The only people who have a low cost way of getting the tokens are the miners. So let's talk about the miners. It's super simple, super quick. As soon as I find station. So here, can you see my screen still?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So this is proof of rhythm mining, the economic engine behind DPLIQ. And so this is our DPLIQ. First of all, it's a deflationary token. Your inflationary assets, deflationary, meaning there's a limited supply. The supply is always shrinking due to buy burn. So the deflation causes means the value of the token rises over time. We have a whole class on that video about that, explaining deflationary, inflationary tokens and assets and why DPLIQ is one of the most deflationary tokens on the planet. Yes, it's only 2 million tokens. So it's only 2 million tokens, not 2 billion, not 2 trillion, only 2 million tokens. That's one tenth the amount of tokens in all of Bitcoin, is that's our total supply. Of that 2 million tokens, 1.4 million are locked for at least 7 years. They only need 600,000. Of that 600,000, 200,000 is going to DPLIQ miners. It's going to the miners. And there's only about 10,000 current circulation. That is why when you go out there to buy, it's hard for you to find 15 tokens, and it's very expensive to get 15 tokens. Let alone people who understand why they need to build 100 token portfolio or even 1,000 token portfolio. Cost to get 100 tokens a day could cost you $1 million just to get 100 tokens, unless you have a miner. Because in our miners, we have a predictable emission model, meaning we have 200,000 tokens. We're going to distribute those 200,000 tokens over the course of 6 years. 200,000 tokens, by the way, to buy times $100, which is the price now, right? The second is 80 to 100 is $20 million. At $1,000, that's $200 million that's going to be distributed through the miners. Yes, hear it again, $200 million distributed through the miners. 6-year duration. Right now, the miners are putting out 91 tokens a day. So if somebody's trying to acquire tokens, they go on the market to get 15 tokens, it's gonna cost them $50,000. But if they bought all the miners, and right now, as you see, it's only about 40 miners out there. If they purchased all the miners and they had all the hash, they would get 91 tokens for a lot less than $51,000. People are going to understand that the miners are the only way to get tokens accumulate tokens and at a better price. Our miners work off what we call rhythm hash power, RHP, and it quantifies a miner's structured daily participation and compliance is a core metric for determining the rewards. It's daily login. Everybody who's keeping a rhythm, you guys understand all of this. Daily login, watch your required media, you complete your proof of rhythm action, and then maintain your wallet signature. That creates that you've done your rhythm, and that rhythm creates your hash. RHP is earned daily exclusively when the rhythm compliance criteria are met. Any failure in compliance for a given day results in no RHP for that day. If you don't do your rhythm for the day, you don't get mining rewards for that day. The mining rewards are for mining. Okay, so let's just talk about the 1,000. Just give an example. With 1,000 total RHP and the user owning 25 RHP, the daily reward would be 2.2 tokens. And that's just did the math of dividing. You split up how many miners are online and their RHP for the total RHP. That gives you times to whatever the emission for the day. You don't need to know all that math, but it gives you the reward. I'll show you the math here in a second. It's down below. It gives you will give you 2.2 tokens. Well, 2.2 tokens or $307 a day, roughly, however much, 200, 300, 400, it'd be 1,000, it'd be 2,000. This is the way you get tokens. This is the lowest cost avenue for acquiring tokens. Now, why I keep saying it, why it's important, because it means that many people are going to come to you as a miner, and mining just for yourself, because you're mining for the entire system. Many people won't come to you as a miner who want to buy tokens. They want to buy tokens. You guys put together the math yourself. If you get tokens at the cost that you mine them, and you get tokens at the cost that you mine them, and on the street, they're a lot more. You everybody knows how to make money in that situation.
Mm.
You know, we take, so here's our admissions curve. Simply put, in the first year, we're going to do roughly 120 tokens a day, and as we get into year 6, it's going to decrease. But as the price as it's decreasing, the price will be increasing, and you guys have seen this with Bitcoin, so you understand that as it decreases, as the price is increasing, then you're still getting more value for your miners. So your miners, you want to mine for this entire period. That's how you're going to get the max tokens. RHP beyond mining systems. There's voting you can do in the government. You're gonna get your NFTs. You're gonna have reduced fees, unlock higher tiers, boost commissions. All that good stuff is happening, but this is all the bonus stuff. What's really happening is that you're acquiring DPLIQ, and we know thousands of tokens and more tens of thousands of people or more are going to need this thing instantly. And over time, hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people are going to need DPLIQ. And the best way to get it is going to be get it through a miner or from a miner. And once these miners are exclusive, since these miners are scarce, once these miners are gone, they're gone. So final model, we already said that 6-year duration, 200,000. Now, what I'm going to show you here is the math. And this is when I say the math is that I use four different AI agents, AI platforms to create financial models. You know, we've created, you know, some of you may have seen the DPLIQ XJL liquidity constitution. You may have seen some of the analyst stuff. You may have seen DPLIQ from maybe about a month ago. But we use these AI platforms to create financial models. So this is a model growth path called Curve C. Why we call it Curve C? Because it factors in the most, it factors in an extreme selling. So it factors in that, you know, that we saw sellers, even though it's really not as possible because we have all the token, and there's never been a lot of sellers, but we factor in a lot of sellers to see what the model will look like. And so just so you know, the rules on the model, daily rhythm keeper starts at 300 a day, 300 rhythm keepers. So this chart starts, we're going to get 300 rhythm keepers, and it walks us up to our 3,000 rhythm keepers. Each keeper buys $2 of DPLIQ, adds $2 of liquidity. Well, that's what we do today. You guys just will see when you buy your own token, and when you buy DPLIQ, you buy $1 DPLIQ, you buy $1 your own token. What happens actually is that $1 buys DPLIQ because your token is paired with DPLIQ. It buys DPLIQ and then buys your token. So effectively, to the system, to the crypto world, that's $2 of DPLIQ purchase and $2 of liquidity. $2 of liquidity added, $2 of DPLIQ purchase, $2 of liquidity added. So with that being said, friendly holders hold 1% of the remaining holdings per week. Friendly holders sell 1%. We got put friendly holder sales in there just to make the model more realistic. And sale pressure targets 60% of daily buy volume. That's high. Again, just to make the model more realistic. And the AMA fees, 0.3, which is again a little high to make the model realistic. This doesn't factor in any external buy-in. That means that people see our token going up and not one person decides to buy. People see the token up. So this doesn't factor in any one buy-in. It doesn't factor in the buy burn. Our buy burn that we do every day. It doesn't factor in the fact that all our tokens are paired with DPLIQ. It just factor in. It's just strictly on the rhythm with respect to sales. So what you're looking at is a 10-week outcome. Week 1, we have 300 rhythm keepers. We say expect the price to go to around 302 from where it's at today. Again, price appreciation from where it's today to $302 in the first week. $302 and about 9,500 on the liquidity side. About week 2, and what we did here is say on our way to get to 3,000, that it takes us 10 weeks to get to 3,000 rhythm keepers. We know for a fact it won't take us 10 weeks to get to 3,000 rhythm keepers. But again, just to be more conservative, 10 weeks to get to 3,000 rhythm keepers. So for the second week, 600 rhythm keepers, then the price at the end of the second week be around $628 on the model says, and liquidity around 23,000. Third week, 900 rhythm keepers, and you guys can see the math. This goes to 900, roughly $1,000 per token, and 42,000 liquidity. By week 4, we cross over that $1,000 mark. By week 4, 1,200 rhythm keepers cross over that $1,000 mark and stay there, and we get to 600. And as you get all the way down to the bottom, by week 10, which is 10 weeks from now, you have 3,000 rhythm keepers and a price estimated with all that extreme selling that we talked about. Still, the price is estimated at $3,600, over $3,000 per token. Now, again, some of you are already mining tokens. That some of you that bought your machines the other day, and you're already mining tokens. You'll be able to see those. You'll be able to see your machines in about 24 to 48 hours time over the end from now to the end of the weekend to the beginning of the next week. You Monday, Tuesday at the latest, you'll be able to see your machines, but your machines are already mining. If you purchase machines, they're already mining. They're already earning tokens. And so you're earning tokens, 2-3 tokens at today for mining, and those tokens would be worth, if it's 3 tokens, it'd be worth over $10,000 when we reach these numbers. That's the value of mining. Strong appreciation, even with significant sell pressure. The model shows a 38x price increase over 10 weeks. Now, this came from AI. I didn't break these numbers up. Came from AI models on all our actual real information, what the token is right now today. Was what I plugged in. What I just showed you on the first screen is what I plugged in, and the numbers and the rhythms and what the rhythms for the last 4 days, and that's what they use to calculate what this will look like. Liquidity pool grows from 2,500 to 339,000, and retain friendly supply. So, with that being said, this is what we're about to build out. This is what you're part of as the mining team, as leaders for the mining team, is building out this and driving our token. Which, by the way, everybody here knows. Everybody here has a token. Your token's a pair. So when we drive our token up, DPLIQ, it drives your token up. If you drive, guys, everybody's hooked together. We all on this ride together. So truly, we're all helping each other. Now, this is the last thing I have, and I want to say how we've looked at it is that we want to make sure that we have a geographic distribution across the U.S. of our miners. Because for all those, and I know Showmaster can talk about this, but for all those who understand and remember the early days of Bitcoin, you had to find somebody with Bitcoin. There wasn't a liquid market for Bitcoin yet. You had to find somebody with Bitcoin, and people are going to be looking for miners, because they're going to realize that everything that they want to do, again, they need DPLIQ XJL for it, and the miners are the only people who have accumulated token can accumulate token from the market. Yet the market is too thin to accumulate token seriously. So what we've done is so if you remember, you'll be familiar with this number, 3,125, kind of divided it geographically, on a US based model. Those some people from overseas are already buying. And then we said how many leadership positions, which is we look at these 125 super miners, and broke these super miners, people who have going to potential to be super miners, raising the hand and give them some time. But we took these 125 super miners and broke them down to per state. So, for instance, Texas should have 11 super miners, Georgia 10, Florida 11, New York 10, California 7, and Carolina. Now, you guys know these numbers are really small for state, and they're going to go fast. They're going to go very fast. In fact, I have an announcement I'm going to make in a second, but these numbers are going to go fast. Maryland 5, Illinois 5, Virginia 5. So either you live in any of these states or you know somebody living in these states, they have a massive opportunity. If you're in Virginia, you become one of the first 5. If you're in Illinois, you become one of the first 5, and then have the right to build out your super mine over a little bit of time. You can't take forever, but have the right to build out that super mine. You have this massive, massive opportunity. If you want to foreign Louisiana, foreign Ohio, I know we have Ohio people on the line. Pennsylvania, Michigan, 4 Alabama. I think Alabama might already have 4, if I was counting correctly. Alabama might be already sold out or getting close to selling out. Getting close to selling out is what it is. It doesn't have 4 yet. South Carolina, New Jersey with 4, Tennessee with 4, Mississippi, Missouri, and then we have the Caribbean, because we know we have a good Caribbean host, have a Caribbean with 150 at-large spots, but 6 in this leadership round. We're doing right now. This is the round we're doing right now. Let's get these 125 people in, and 8 at large. Family, these are going to go. These are going to go fast. In fact, I've been told. I'm about to confirm, but I've been told that Texas is sold out. Texas sold out this morning. They sold out their 11 positions, leadership positions, and they're going to start building. They're going to start building their team of miners who are going to be all the PNR miners in the state of Texas. What I was told, I know it the case because I know they were getting on it. That Texas is sold out. It's 11 leadership positions, and so these are going to go fast. This is what we're doing this weekend for those who are ready to go. People who've told that we're ready for the miners. We're ready for you. The miners are going. Even if you don't, even soon as you purchase your miner, it starts earning you Bitcoin. So when you purchase your miner, it starts earning you Bitcoin. So that becomes the hold 1 second. Let me get rid of the people who keep calling. Get rid of.
Right now, you got to go ahead and reserve your miner. This is a hypothetical map, right? Of all the, excuse me, of all the U.S. states, and so it just gives you a pretty clear. If you scroll down a little bit, it gives a pretty clear understanding as to how many spots are available in those. Again, this is for those 125 super miners, right? And so with that, Game Master, you got anything else you want to add before we close out?
No, that's pretty much it. As you understand what this is, and this is a limited thing by design. Everything we have when seats are unlimited, when distributorships is unlimited, there's no opportunity. So this is true opportunity, and this is true opportunity for the people who active move on it now. Now we are going to build into that 3,000, and going to keep building after that the value that's in our ecosystem. But you can see from the math, you can look at the math. You can see from the math how we build. The math is the answer. The math is the answer. That's what we've been talking about here for years. Now you guys see the math is the answer. So, Master, that's it. Back to you.
Thank you. Absolutely, math is the answer. And if you guys remember, the numbers that were calculated was based on just having 300 active miners. Imagine when we got 3,000 active miners. What happens then? All right. With that, guys, I want to wish everybody a wonderful rest of your afternoon. And go ahead and reserve your miner. The link is in the chat. And if you need help with that, just reach out to me. I'll help you to get through it. But just take this link and go into your MetaMask or your Trust Wallet or SafePal, wherever you have your USDC and at least reserve one miner, even if you're planning to get 5. I know some people say they're looking to get 5 or multiple miners, but they didn't have all the funds right away. So just go ahead and reserve what it is. Reserve at least one miner, and from there, we'll get everything started. Everything will be started. As Game Master said, is all on blockchain, every single purchase that happens. And so therefore, therefore it's on blockchain. So we know exactly when you started. And therefore your miner will start ticking, right? Start earning from there. Okay. And then you'll be able to see it here online in the next 24 to 48 hours.
All right, with that, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will talk to you soon.